Alright guys, this is Surviving Social Studies, a couple of hints, tricks, and tips to help you get the most out of your year in my classroom in Challenger 8 Social Studies. First things first, what are we going to learn about? We cover history from about 500 AD all the way up to 1500 AD. That's about 1,000 years of history. It's a ton of information. First, we're going to start with the fall of Rome. So that's in 476 AD. That's when that great empire starts to crumble. Next, we're going to move to Greece and study a civilization called the Byzantines. From there, we move to the Middle East and study a civilization started by the Muslims. We also learn about their religion, Islam. After the Muslims, we move to medieval Europe. This could be called the Dark Ages or the Middle Ages. It's that period immediately after the fall of Rome up until the Renaissance. Obviously, then we move down into the Renaissance in Italy. We also study the Reformation that occurs in Italy and in Northern Europe as well. And finally, we finish the year off by learning about the civilizations that develop in India. What do I need? So this is like your must-have for when you come into my class. You have to have a pencil, pen, something to write with. You need to have a notebook or a binder. We take a lot of notes in social studies, so whatever works best for you, totally use it. You need to have your homework. If we had homework last night, you should have it. It's usually not a lot. It's just something for us to be able to cover or review topics that we discuss in class. And finally, you should have your assignment notebook. That way you can write down tonight's homework. Start a class. So you come into social studies class, the first thing you should start working on is your warm-up. That's a small, short question that reviews a topic either covered yesterday or maybe even last week. They're usually important because they relate to quiz questions or test questions, so the more effort you put into your warm-up, the better grade you'll get on that assessment. You should have your homework out and on your desk. That way when I come around to check it, I don't have to wait for you, and we can get right into the learning. And then finally, write down the homework if we do have homework that night. Assessments. So these are your grades. What I do is I calculate your quizzes, tests, web quests, song quests, map activities, warm-ups, and projects. They all get combined, and then the average of that is your final grade for social studies. One thing not on here is participation. It's not required, but if you participate in social studies, I will increase your grade. So you can only benefit from being an active participant in your learning. Must-haves. You need to have respect, both for me as your teacher and for your peers. We need to learn together. We have a lot of ground to cover, and if you're disrespectful, I'm not going to appreciate that, and you're not going to be welcome in my room. You need to have an open mind for new ideas. We study a lot of different religions. Some you might agree with, some you might not, and that's okay. On that note, I want you to share your ideas and your thoughts. If you don't like something, that's okay. You're old enough to have your own opinion, and I'm more than willing to discuss it with you. Frequently asked questions. So, what do I do if I'm absent? It's your responsibility as an 8th grader to make up any and all missed work. So that means any projects that were due that you didn't hand in on time, any missed homework assignments, and any missed classwork. You could always get it from a classmate or me. Let me know. If you forgot your homework, it's not a huge deal as long as you don't do it too frequently. And any homework assignments that you miss can always be made up for half credit as long as it's before the end of the quarter. And finally, extra help. So if something's confusing or something's difficult for you, make an appointment to come see me. I stay after school most days, and I'm always willing to help you out. Obviously, you need to touch base with your parents, make sure you pick a time that works for everyone, and we'll get the job done. Thanks, and hope you have a great day.